Hello and welcome into your Game 3 review of the 2019 second round playoff series of the Bruins versus Columbus Blue Jackets. And I'm a Bruins fan, so obviously it's a little biased. I'm a little more focused to one team, so take that into mind when you hear me talk. Now the Bruins lose 2-1 to the Blue Jackets in a pretty tight game. That was winnable. All these games have been winnable. They've all been decided by one goal. They've all been decided by one goal, and you really are looking for things to pick out between each team that separates them. To this point in time, you can make an argument with Sergei Bobrovsky, even though Tuukka Rask has played fantastic in my opinion as well. I think special teams is kind of a factor because I feel like Columbus's have looked more effective, just in my opinion. But at the end of the day, it's about who puts the puck in the net more, and Columbus has just been better with their chances so far in this series, which is why they have the 2-1 lead. But there's really... people are getting very nervous about the Bruins, which I think, fine, they're down 2-1 again, like they were last series. They won last series, but obviously it's a different type of team, a much more defensive team that it's going to be harder to score on. It's more unlikely we're going to have a breakout game where we score like 5 goals against this team than it would have been against Toronto. But to be all like, oh, the season's over, like, yeah, that's how some people are acting on Twitter and just people I talk to. Like, they generally have a down feeling, and it's because of how Columbus plays. But at the same time, the Bruins play a very good game, and they can really turn it on, I think, in the Game 4. But if they don't, then I hit the panic button. Tonight, Game 4, if it doesn't start to go the Bruins' way and they lose Game 4, you're not going to win 3 games in a row against Columbus. They're just too good of a defensive team to do that to. You really have to capitalize on your chances, and the Bruins need to tonight. Game 4 must win. I'll say that. If they don't win Game 4, I'm nervous. But if they win Game 4, you take home ice back. You have to win 2 of 3, and you have home ice. So, I mean, really, tonight's game is the one that determines whether you should panic or not. Now, to talk about a few things, you can see the Bruins do have chances in this game. 37 shots. That's enough to score 3 to 4 goals, but they can only score 1 because Bobrovsky's good, and the Bruins are very dumb and incompetent with taking their chances. Shot selection's bad. Aiming of the shot is bad. They're hesitating whether to pass or shoot, which is why they're not putting it in the right spots. Bergeron right there in front of the net, I don't even know what that is in the bottom middle. Just shoots it right into Bobrovsky's pads. I'm not sure if he thought someone was on him, but yeah, Charlie McAvoy top middle there. He takes a shot from there, hits the post. Bucci Mane, I shared that tweet because I thought that call was kind of ridiculous on Josh Anderson. Josh Anderson going to the net. Obviously, the Bruins give up a power play chance against, because what else are we going to do? We're freaking terrible with puck possession at this point. So you give the chance to Josh Anderson. Josh Anderson drives the net. I think he just lost his footing and fell, and I don't think it's a dive. Some people are going Josh Anderson dove. I don't think so. I think he just lost his balance. Bergeron's right there on him from behind, so they call Bergeron for the penalty. I thought that was a ridiculous call at that point in the game. So really, you see the Bruins are 0 for 2 on the power play. It's really 0 for 1. And you might as well say Columbus is 1 for 2 because their power play was like 15 seconds after that end. So really, you got very few power play opportunities. I was hoping 4-on-4 they could do something because the ice opened up, but just wasn't to be. Now, as you see, Bruins outshot them the first period. I thought the Bruins' best period was the first period. Sadly, however, late in the period, Boone Jenner just destroys Connor Clifton's legs. He takes it in on Clifton on a broken play in the neutral zone, does a cut move to the middle. I think Clifton thought he was just going to shoot it from there. He didn't think that Boone Jenner was capable of moves, apparently. Boone Jenner makes a move and barely beats Tuukka's leg, as you can see in the right there. Beautiful move by Jenner to get the space to take the shot, and a very well-placed shot. And you'd like to see the save by Tuukka there, but at the same time, it's a really nice move and a really well-placed shot. Blue Jackets up 1-0. You go to the second period, and Matt Duchene would get on the board for the Blue Jackets. Duchene having a very good series and a very good scoring or point productions from Duchene in a low-scoring series, which is pretty impressive. Duchene's been a monster for the Blue Jackets so far. And a guy you wouldn't necessarily think as a net front presence has been getting it done in front of the net. So maybe we have to rethink how we think about Matt Duchene in front of the net, or at least maybe I do. But on the power play, the Bruins are getting suffocated, and by that I mean a lot of possession for Columbus. You can't get out of the zone. You can't get a change. I'm pretty sure Carlo and Chara were out there the whole entire power play against. I could be wrong on that, but it felt like they were out there forever. Eventually, shot from Foligno, as you can see in the top right, gets in front. As you can see in the top right as well, no one's covering Duchene. Chara's going to block the shot when I think he should be back a little more with Duchene. But obviously, the forwards got to get there as well. Rask makes the first save off of Foligno, and Duchesne puts it home right past him. Not much Rask can do about their power play penalty kill left him out to dry. Jake DeBrusk, however, would strike later in the second period to get the Bruins on the board, taking in with, I believe that's Heinen on the wing, or Kuhlman right there. I can't really read the number that well. But he had a 2-on-1, and instead of passing, Seth Jones took away the pass. He decided to shove it 5-hole on Bobrovsky, and successfully does. Puck carries over the line before the whistle blows, and it's a goal. And they reviewed it, and Columbus's fans weren't sure. This is clearly a goal, and good on Jake DeBrusk for taking to the net. That's what you need out of your spark plugs like Jake DeBrusk. As you can see, also kind of funny how convinced Krejci is it's a goal, just pointing at it like, look, it's right there. But Bruins, at the end of the day, it wouldn't have enough left in the tank. Obviously, down the line in the third period. What time did those penalties happen? With less than 10 minutes, the penalty happened to David Savard for tripping Marchand, and then Bergeron got called on the power play for a penalty. That all happened with less than 9 minutes left. Those penalties came about 17 seconds apart from each other. And it was kind of deflating, but at the same time, if you're only going to score one goal on 37 shots, how much can you really complain about a referee's decision? You can only put so much blame on the refs, but you gotta take 90% of the blame on yourself for not putting the puck on the net, and maybe a little here and there for that. Because obviously, at the end of the day, if you're in such a tight game, you can't blame the refs. It's on you for not putting the puck in the net enough. Post-game thoughts. Now, I know a lot of people don't like advanced stats, or maybe you do. I don't know. I see some people kind of going against it on. It really depends where you are. If you're looking at Facebook, Bruins fans, they don't really care for advanced stats. If you're looking at Twitter, they love advanced stats. So I don't really know what type of audience I have here. But I don't really consider Corsi that advanced of a stat. It's really just calculating attempts for when you're on the ice and attempts against when you're on the ice. 70% for Connor Clifton, for example, he led the team. 70.6% means of the chances on the ice, 70.6% of them were for the Bruins. It's pretty easy to understand. And one thing that's very concerning, obviously, Corrali and Achari kill penalties, and so does Carlo and Chara. But when you're playing 10 to 12 minutes a night like Achari and Corrali are, to have 26 and 22 attempts against, that's really bad. That's really, really bad. And they shouldn't get more than 10 minutes if they're going to play like that in Game 4. That's my opinion. As you can see, Bergeron, Pasta, Marchand, all above 65%, which is really good. Columbus only has one player above 60%. It's Matt Duchesne, who actually, monster of a game, 22 scoring attempts, 4 when he's on the ice to 7 against. As you can see, he also has 81.8 offensive zone starts. That's what OZS percentage is. So they're not putting Duchesne in defensive situations, which obviously if you have home ice, you're not going to, because Matt Duchesne is the offensive juggernaut. That's why he's there. He's going to look a lot better at home when he's able to have the shifts that he wants in the offensive zone. But Josh Anderson, good game. Nick Foligno, good game. As you can see, Panarin, better than average. Atkinson, better than average. Dean Kukan, better than average. But everyone else has more attempts against for the Blue Jackets. So you really have to take advantage of those lower lines, like the Dubinsky line, the Jenner line, Dzingel, Nash's. Because if you're under 40% Corsi, that means your line's getting outplayed whenever they're on the ice. And the Blue Jackets have a lot of guys that the Bruins need to take advantage of, and they're just not doing it enough. They're not putting the puck in the net against these lines, which you can score on. And at the end of the day, that's really what it's coming down to right now, is that the Blue Jackets are putting more chances away than the Bruins, and that can change in an instant. Which is why I'm not overly worried about the Bruins right now, because they're only down a game, and all you need is a little bit of puck luck to go your way in Game 4, and you're right back in it, and you have home ice with 3 games to play. You have 2 of the 3 remaining games. If you lose, it's a panic button, because with Columbus plays, it's going to be hard to win 3 straight games against Columbus. It's very unlikely. I put money on it not happening. But anyway, you got preview Game 4 now. You got the lines. They're putting Backes out there instead of Kuhlman, which is I don't mind, because Kuhlman hasn't brought a ton to the table, but Backes will slot in the second line. They're looking for a little more physicality, a net front presence. He's probably going to fill in on one of the power play units tonight, probably the power play 1 or power play 2, to try to get tips in front of the net, because really you need someone in front of Bobrovsky at this point. You need to take away his sight lines, which is what Bruce is saying down there. If he goes in for anyone, he's a net front presence, something that's needed against Bobrovsky. Agreed completely. I don't mind this decision at all. Bruce Cassidy, the Bees approach to Game 4. We went through it a couple of weeks ago. We were down. We're resilient. I think our guys understand what's at stake. Bruins have a great locker room. There's no reason for them to come out and have a bad Game 4 and look bad. I don't expect them to win, but I would put money on the Bruins winning tonight, because it's just they're too talented of a team to look like this bad. And you can only have the puck luck go against you so much, to the point where I feel like the Bruins are playing not worse than the Blue Jackets. I don't think the Blue Jackets are playing better. I feel like this is a coin flip type of series. Who's going to win tonight? Flip the coin, it comes back down, which is why I think it's going to go 50-50. And I think you're going to have a 2-2 series after tonight. This feels like it's going 6 or 7 minimum. Who wins? Who knows? But I'm very much excited for the game tonight. Sorry that I didn't go too in depth with the last game, but I hope you like me bringing a few advanced stats in to look at. By a few, I mean Corsi, because that's all I really looked at there. But give me your thoughts on the series, what you think the Bruins should do, what you think the Blue Jackets should do, because maybe you're a Blue Jackets fan and you've stumbled upon this channel. If you like my reviews, hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment with your thoughts down below, and hit the subscribe button. I'll be covering every Bruins game for the rest of the playoffs and beyond. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a great night.